Sometime later in the city, Tally approaches the students that read Shay's book and introduces them to David to prove that the smoke is real. Tally borrows an interface ring from them and asks them to gather lots of kids to create a distraction. Soon a bunch of teenagers write "The smoke lives" in the sky using their hoverboards. Meanwhile, David and Tally wait for the aircraft to leave the clinic and get inside, using hoverboards too. They go through the aircraft tunnel and land safely thanks to the bungee vests. They carefully sneak around, and Tally uses the ring to hack a lock. But this isn't just a kitchen, and it doesn't work. Suddenly, the door is opened by a pretty, and David immediately starts fighting him. They exchange a few hits before David overpowers him and holds him against the wall, so Tally takes his ring. Then David throws him in the corridor, and Tally locks the door. As the alarms go off, the duo finds the cell and uses the ring to free everyone. Tally realizes Shay isn't around, and Croy reveals she was already given the surgery. While most of the group escapes, David, Tally, and Maddie go looking for Shay, but when they make it to the lab, it's too late. She's already a pretty. Tally cries and apologizes, yet Shay swears she loves it. At that moment, Cable and Paris arrive and force the trio to get into the machines so they can finally get the surgery. The process begins, but before the needles can start cutting, the Smoke's helicopter appears outside, and Croy opens fire with a flamethrower. Cable and Paris are forced to run, and the machines get damaged, so the system fails and the operation stops. The trio comes out, and Tally grabs Shay, while Maddie gets the components she needed from cupboard. The group runs to the roof and finds Paris, so Tally tries to make him see reason by using their nicknames, and pointing out a piece of glass gave him his scar again. Paris gently touches Tally's face, and David thinks it's an attack, so he tackles Paris and tries to fight him. Paris is too strong and keeps beating him up, but before he can kill him, Tally uses a hoverboard to move fast and tackles Paris, making him fall off the edge. He holds on for a second and says her nickname before he falls into a waterfall. Afterward, the group escapes on hoverboards and see the other teens making the drones crash against each other in the sky. They hide in the abandoned city, and Maddie takes the serum from David's pocket to finish mixing the cure. However, she can't be sure if it'll actually work or have bad side effect for the brain. Shay doesn't want to take it, and Shay refuses to force it on anyone, so Tally volunteers to be the test subject. She'll hand herself in and let them do the surgery, so she can then take the cure, promising to keep a sign for them to know if it works. The aircraft and Cable are coming, so after a final goodbye, the group runs away while Tally lets the scouts arrest her. Sometime later, Tally is the perfect pretty living in a very fancy apartment. She swears she loves being like this, but the scar on her hand reveals she's still herself and lying as a spy.